tape 2 in My Little Pony Magic Series 1. It's now nearly 7:30 on Monday the 5th of August 2002. We hope you enjoy this tape, but please remember not to listen to it within 3 hours of bedtime, or it will give you a nightmare. Please stop listening to this tape if it's within that time.
Something is starting right now. Something is starting. Oh wow, My Little Pony, My Little Pony, My Little Ponytail. My Little Pony, My Little Pony, My Little Ponytail.
Brilliantruly's our second tape. There's one loss about her, isn't that great?
My Little Pony, My Little Pony, My Little Ponytail. My Little Pony, My Little Pony, My Little Ponytail.
Truly, Lofty-Dee, Zarella and Soapy. Lots more characters for you, so come and join the ponies.
My Little Pony, My Little Pony, My Little Ponytail. My Little Pony, My Little Pony, My Little Ponytail.
Brilliantruly, Brilliantruly, Brilliantruly. Desiree looked up at the clock. She went up and studied it. 23 minutes past 1 in the afternoon of Wednesday, the 7th of August 2002. She was bored. She began to walk over to the television. She thought she'd play a bit of Pokemon Stadium, a game on her Nintendo. Suddenly, she stopped in her tracks. Why am I doing this? She thought. I played Pokemon Stadium only last night. Why should I play it again? Because I haven't got anything else to do. That's why. And she walked a little nearer. Hang on a second, she said to herself. I have got something else to do. I could get in the box. Desiree had found a box in the garden on her previous birthday. When she got inside the box, she was magically transported to Ponyland. I'll go and get Bubbles, she thought. He always turns the key for me, but I've got to get that box out of the back room. I think I'll get Bubbles first. She walked away to get the guinea pig. The kitchen door had blown shut, so she had to open it. Oh, of course, she said suddenly, closing the kitchen door again behind her, not thinking about what she was doing. Bubbles is in the A-frame, out in the garden, and I can't cut his time short. He's still got another 34.5 minutes. I wonder, she thought, looking at Diesel's hutch, where a bored guinea pig looked out at her. I wonder if she could do it for me. If I get her to wear the necklace, I'll be able to speak to her just as well as I'd be able to speak to Bubbles. Desiree had found a necklace only a couple of days after she'd found the box in the garden. When she put it on her guinea pig, Bubbles, or Scruffkin, as she nicknamed him, Bubbles could speak to her and understand what she was saying. She wondered if it would work for Diesel. I'll just go and get Diesel, she thought. She got the guinea pig, who squeaked at her, moaning about the way she was holding her. Diesel, she said. As Desiree tried to slip the necklace on her, she got in an even worse state. Diesel! Suddenly, Diesel spoke. Please put me down, please! What's this horrible thing round my neck? You can now communicate with me, she said. When you wear that horrible thing round your neck, you can speak to me, and I can speak to you. I wondered if you would turn a key for me. Look. The bow that was attached to the key ring jingled as she passed the key to my pet guinea pig. Here you are, Diesel, she said. I've just got to go and get the box. You sit there and be a good guinea pig. There. It's in place, Diesel. You turn the key? Of course I will. There you are then, Diesel. You've also got to turn it the other way when this bell rings. She jingled the bell. The bell had come inside the box. A note inside the box had told her to ring it when she wanted to come back from Ponyland, and whoever had turned the key would hear it and bring her back. It had always worked so far. Have you got that, Diesel? Of course I have. And Diesel squeaked again. But before you go out of my sight, Diesel, I'd better go and get you some breakfast. I don't think I've fed you today. Come on, Diesel. Diesel was still eating her breakfast at 20 to 2. At this rate, Bubbles will be out of the run by the time she's ready, and I may as well use him. But she decided against it and got out Clover, who had finished his breakfast already. She told him what to do, and she started to open the lid, which turned out to be one of the worst things she'd done in her life.
My little pony, how has the world been treating you? My little pony, have your dreams been coming true? Tell me what's doing, anything grooving, is something special in store? My little pony, can't wait to see you once more.
The My Little Ponies were enjoying a special day which was called the My Little Pony Song Day. Ponies took it in turns to sing a song. At the end, the best song or rather the dance the pony had done, would win a prize, a gold cup.
Okay, rockin' this, you're up! Sweet music, ooh, sweet music, that's what I hear when you appear.
Hang on a moment. Didn't I just hear a noise? I heard it too, but I thought it was all in my mind. Start again, said the judge, who happened to be a pony called Dazzle.
Sweet music, ooh, sweet music, that's what I hear when you appear. Sweet music, ooh, sweet music.
There it is again.
What did you say?
That's before Melody had a chance to answer. Yes, the noise came back. I might not have got her last time, but I've come back for White Pony. And I will get her this time. Then the noise stopped. The ponies looked around. They'd nearly forgotten the incident where a monster, the black pony of darkness, had come for a little pony called Truly. But he must be coming back. At least he gave them a warning. But what could they do anyway? All they could do was sit and wait for him to come. Back on Earth, Desiree opened the lid of the box to get inside. This is what I was telling you about earlier. Suddenly, as she unfastened the last lock, everything in the kitchen went mad. A noise came. It was the noise of a fan, but there wasn't one. Things started to blow around. Pieces of paper went everywhere. Oh no! They floated around the kitchen, going up to the roof. Then things started to topple over. I don't believe this, as I said to Clover. Then the wind blew in their faces. A wind of a fan. Again. But where was the fan? There was the noise, and there was a breeze coming from it, but there was also a fan in the kitchen. Desiree tried to shout to Clover over the noise of the fan. Clover! Can you help me shut the lid? Clover jumped on top of the box. I'll try, he yelled back. But I can't promise anything. He jumped up and down on the box. The box lid wasn't closing. It's not closing, he yelled. Jump a bit harder, suggested Desiree. Clover started to jump as fast and as hard as he could. With every jump he went a bit higher. It's still not working! There's nothing we can do then. I'll try. She jumped on top of the box and managed to close it. The noise immediately stopped. What was all that about? Desiree said to Clover. I don't know, but I don't think that we should try and open that box again. Not for a while anyway. What was that noise? Desiree asked. What noise? Well, it sounded like a keyboard. The one that you normally play. I never heard it. I must be imagining things then, said Desiree. I expect all that thing with the box was probably just a coincidence. Perhaps Mummy's turned on the fan and... Oh, but how would the air have got into the kitchen? There's something going on which I don't like, said Clover. Well, let's just try the box once more. No, said Clover. And since Clover was the one who was turning the key, that was final. It wasn't until Monday the 7th of October that Desiree even thought about the box again. Mummy was writing a letter, and suddenly, as Desiree listened to some My Little Pony songs, she saw a picture of the black pony in her head. She suddenly switched off the video and said to Mummy, I'm just going into the kitchen to do a tape. Will that be okay? Will you be coming into the kitchen?
No, I'm very busy here. You've got plenty of time.
So Desiree walked into the kitchen. Why didn't I think about this before? She thought to herself. Right, I'll just go and get Bubbles. Bubbles, come out of your bedroom. Oh, Diesel, I don't need you. Come out, Bubbles. Come on. That's it. Now, Desiree quickly closed the door in the kitchen. Bubbles began to squeak excitedly. Bubbles, she said, be quiet for a minute. The guinea pig stopped squeaking. I want you to turn the key on the box. Will you do that? I've done it plenty of times before, said Bubbles, as she slipped on his magic necklace. The guinea pig began to squeak excitedly again, as she told him that if he did what she wanted to do, she'd give him some lettuce. He scrabbled at her shoulder and told her that he would do whatever she wanted, as long as she promised to give him a big pile of lettuce. She gave him the big pink key with the bow on the end and told him not to lose it. Now, she said, you only bring me back if I ring the bell, if Mummy's coming, or if Daddy's coming in. It's quite late, so he's likely to come in soon. It was quite a while ago he said that he'd would be leaving work in 10 minutes. Bubbles promised to bring her back if any of these things happened, so she climbed into the big white box, and as Bubbles turned the key, she drifted off to Ponyland. The ponies had had heard no more from the black pony and were beginning to forget about him. But on the morning of Monday the 7th of October, several alarm clocks had rung, waking up ponies everywhere, all except for one pony. As Desiree was taken to Ponyland, she immediately knew that something was wrong. Normally, she heard a tune as she dashed to Ponyland, but now all she could hear was a really loud noise. Didn't make any sense. There was no tune in that. Also, she'd noticed the stars that were normally going round her in the colours of the rainbow were now in a completely different order. Something was very wrong. When she arrived in Ponyland, she looked around her. She was in the middle of a field. Normally this field was full of ponies, but today there weren't any there. Desiree stood still, wondering where to go. She looked around. Where was Paradise Estate? Suddenly she saw a spot of pink in the distance. The box had taken her to a different spot in the field. Why? Was she supposed to go in the other direction? It must just be my imagination, she thought. Why would the box take me to a different place? I just must think it's further. And she began to run towards Paradise Estate. Suddenly a thought came to her. What if Bubbles couldn't bring her back as Daddy came in? What if he didn't bring her back fast enough? She felt in her pocket to make sure that the bell was still there, and found it wasn't. Oh well, she thought. Lucky I asked him to bring me back if Mummy was coming towards the kitchen or if Daddy came in. But where did I put the bell? I don't want someone else picking it up. Suddenly she heard the black pony laughing. She ran even faster towards Paradise Estate. When she finally arrived at Paradise Estate, she found that all the ponies were hiding. Strange, she thought. Why are they all hiding? She called out, and Cupcake appeared from under a bed. She asked Cupcake what was going on, and Cupcake told her that Truly had disappeared that morning along with 3 or 4 other ponies, including Dancing Butterflies and Spring Song. But just at that moment, silver stars appeared round Desiree, and she disappeared from Paradise Estate. Later that night, when Desiree was feeding her rabbits, she was grateful that Bubbles had brought her back. Just as she'd come back out of the lid of the box, she'd seen Mummy wandering through the kitchen door with a packet of rolls that Daddy had just brought in. It would have been terrible if Mummy had come out and found her not out there. Now Mummy was holding Bubbles while she put the food into piles. Desiree wasn't really thinking about the food. She was thinking about what had happened. What had Cupcake been saying? What would she have said if Desiree had been there a longer time? Well, that would have to wait till tomorrow, when she'd get Bubbles to turn the key again. The following morning, yet again, alarm clocks were going off everywhere. And all the ponies dashed out of the door of Paradise Estate, and Nurse Tenderheart counted all of the ponies to make sure that no more were missing. There weren't any more missing ponies, but who knew what would happen before the end of the day? Back on Earth, it was 1:15 in the afternoon when Desiree looked up at the clock. "Mummy," she said, "we'd better go to the laundrette." Mummy came out and opened the coat cupboard door. "You don't need your coat," Desiree said. "It's not particularly cold outside."
It is.
It is, Mummy. Well, it wasn't when I was in the garden. Really, Desiree just wanted to get over the road and back so that she could eat her dinner and go back to Ponyland. But Desiree didn't get another chance that day. She didn't even get a chance to play with the My Pretty Pony she'd got 2 days before. As soon as they'd got back and she'd eaten her dinner, they were doing schoolwork or reading or some other thing that put her off of going to Ponyland. Okay, thought Desiree, maybe I can't go to Ponyland today, but tomorrow I'll manage it. I'll make sure of that. But Desiree forgot all about Ponyland. The following morning she got out of bed and suddenly she realised that the most recent pony newsletter was due out in only a few days' time. She wasn't even nearly finished doing it. It was only on the 16th when she was still busy tapping away on the typewriter. But suddenly she remembered the ponies. What had been going on in Ponyland? Well, she'd just been sitting around with the typewriter. She dashed towards her box. What would be happening in Ponyland now? Right, is anybody missing? The ponies were just being counted for the evening. Desiree ran behind Paradise Estate and listened. Magic Star, who was counting them, turned a piece of paper in her book, obviously a book full of names. Angel? Here, said the pony. Applejack? No reply. Applejack? Still no reply. Where are you, Applejack? Suddenly the pony came trotting over. Sorry, I didn't realise the time. I was in the orchard. Go over there. The pony pointed in the direction that Angel had disappeared to with her hoof. Amber? The pony quickly shouted out that she was right at the back where nobody could see her. Well, go over where the other two went, said Magic Star. Ace? There was no reply from this pony either. If this had been the television programmes, Desiree would have been laughing. But this wasn't the television programmes anymore. She looked around. Suddenly the pony just walked over to where all the other ponies had gone without even shouting that he was going. Magic Star laughed and looked back at her list. Backstroke? The sea ponies who had been gathered together in a bucket, a big bucket as you can imagine, shouted out their names all together. Backstroke, Beachcomber, Foamy, Sea Shimmer, Sea Star. I'm here, shouted out Sea Princess, and so the list went on, until all of the sea ponies had shouted out that they were okay. Beach Ball, the little orange unicorn, stuck her horn in the air and walked off. Beachy Keen, the pony ran away. So Magic Star kept on calling out names, and everybody was replying. Sweet Sundrop, said Magic Star when she got to the S's. Again, there was no reply. Sweet Sundrop? No reply. Are you there? The ponies began to look around. There she is, shouted a pony, and suddenly realised that it was Flowerburst. No, that's her there, but it was Dainty. Sweet Sundrop was nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, a noise came over Ponyland. Wah! Ha ha ha! The peach pony has come to me. That's why you don't see this MLP. You won't be seeing her again, or your little white pony friend. Wah! Ha ha ha! Desiree walked out from behind Paradise Estate. Suddenly the noise came again. And you'd better give up too, said the voice. You from the pony home of rest. You can always try to stop me, but I'll always be the best. Then the noise stopped again. The ponies looked at each other. Was what the black pony had said true? They'd never see the two ponies again. Desiree walked over to the ponies. She went over to Magic Star and whispered something in the pony's ear. Magic Star nodded her head and pointed to a little yellow pony called, just have a guess. And before you say the name starting with L, it is not a Pegasus. A little yellow pony with pink hair. Posy. Desiree walked over to her. Posy looked up at her and backed away. What's wrong, Posy? But the pony refused to answer. Suddenly, a voice in Desiree's head said something. Suddenly, Desiree knew whose voice it was. Mummy's. What's going on here? Bubbles is sitting out here wearing a necklace, and where's Desiree? Desiree heard another voice in her head. This time it was Bubbles. She heard him squeaking. Then there was just a whisper. What do I do, Desiree? Can you hear me? She's come out into the kitchen and she's found me. What do I do? Do I turn the key now? Where's she going? Desiree thought back to him. And how come I can hear you? I'm not sure, said Bubbles. I saw a blue unicorn in my head, and she told me to talk to you. Desiree heard laughing, which wasn't in her head, and she looked over the field to where she saw ribbons. "I think I know who the blue unicorn it was," she said. "I don't know what you can do, Bubbles, but I think whatever you better do, you better do it quick." "Ribbons, come over here," shouted Medley. "Think this music," to Desiree's mother. The pony waved her tail, and that was the tune that she played. Desiree began to see pictures in her head of what was happening. Again Mummy spoke.
What's that noise? It sounds like it's coming from the lounge. I'll have to go and look.
Bubbles was so pleased and started to jump up and down, squeaking, making sure not to let her hear him talking. Mummy went to investigate. Bubbles quickly picked up the bow on top of the key and found that the key was now separate to the bow on top of it. "I can't move the key!" He suddenly realised he'd said it aloud. Desiree hadn't heard it, but Mummy had.
Desiree, is that you? Did you say something?
Said.
Where are you, Desiree? Are you in the back room?
Desiree did hear this. "Bubbles, turn the key," she thought to him. "I can't," the guinea pig thought back. "She's done it again. She's on her way." Majesty twirled her horn and time stood still. But not for Desiree and Bubbles. "What's wrong? Pick up the key. You can do it now, Mummy won't come." "I can't pick up the key. The bow on the end of it's dropped off." "You better glue it back on." "But glue takes hours to dry." "Not if you use the right type of glue." "Where's there some glue then?" "I never said anything," said Desiree. "Well, someone said it." Suddenly, a pot of glue with "extra sticky glue" written on it appeared in front of Bubbles' nose. He shoved it onto the end of the key and stuck the bow to it, and it immediately dried. He turned round to make sure that the bottle was hidden. It was already gone. He picked up the key and turned it, and Desiree reappeared. Majesty twirled her horn again and made time go forwards. Mummy came wandering out into the kitchen.
"Well, there you are, Desiree. I was wondering where you were,"
she said.
"You know it's cruel to make that guinea pig wear a necklace."
She stared at Bubbles.
"He was wearing a necklace."
She said.
"I'm sure he was wearing a necklace."
"What necklace?" Desiree said, puzzled, or pretending to be. "What are you talking about?
He was wearing a necklace.
Mummy said, horrified.
It was round his neck.
Well, that's where most necklaces are, said Desiree. But my guinea pig doesn't happen to wear one. Which was true. Bubbles wasn't wearing one now, was he? It was only that he'd been wearing it a few minutes before. But suddenly, Desiree had a thought. If the necklace wasn't round his neck, where on earth could it have disappeared to? She looked around, but it was nowhere to be seen, and without the necklace, there would be no more communicating with Bubbles, which meant no more trips to Ponyland. And with no more trips to Ponyland, the black pony would surely win. What? Ha ha ha! To hear what happened after that, please turn to side B of Brilliantruly, which is the second tape in the My Little Pony Magic series, which were both written and read by Desiree Alder. We hope you have enjoyed side A of this tape and will enjoy side B even more.